Australian Dhammakaya site by somebody who seems to know the Abhidharma very, very well, so it's very detailed. And he talked about anatta, about split personality. He did say that there were like, I can't remember, it was 3 or 4 components. He said that they split off into different parts, and each part
can have a new life.
Yes.
Well,
very Abhidharma. I'll get it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that, because as far as I know, that has not happened anywhere in the scriptures.
But I was believing maybe possible, but later I found they are arguing each other. As a brother fight for the father's property, and the past life of property, so I give up hope. There's no future of this.
Yeah. The person gets reborn and they still feel they're the owner of the property from last lifetime, then they can get in a fight about that. Sorry.
So, would you say people who suffer from this multiple personality disease, how do you explain that?
It's a form of mental disease. No. Some people, if they are very familiar with telling lies, they may not have awareness even of what they are doing themselves anymore, in which case it may be like a split personality. That's one case. Another case is people who are spiritual mediums, who let other spirits come and possess them. That is another possibility, but the resident spirit is still only one. Okay.
What is anatta?
Well, anatta we would translate as not self. So everything which is made up of physical aggregates, anything short of the bodies of enlightenment, is not self. So we should not be attached to it. How can we say it's not self? Because there must be something which really is self. How can you say that something is, for example, non-human? Well, this must mean that there must be something human to be able to compare it with. And in our case, we'd say the reason that we should not be attached to this physical body, because it's going to break down, it's of a nature of suffering, it's impermanent. So if we become attached to it, then it will bring us suffering, because we cannot hang on to it forever. But the reason we say this is because there is an alternative, which is a body which is beyond suffering, beyond impermanence. It's of a nature of permanence, eternal, and it's also of a nature of happiness, not a nature of suffering. And this is the body of enlightenment. So you could say that this is one's true self. But in fact, it's not your self, it's not myself, it's not I, me, etc., but it is true self, which goes beyond individual people anymore. So we would say that the idea of translating the word anatta as non-self is a mistranslation. We are not of the nature of non-self, because this makes a whole lot of philosophical confusion. Okay, you don't exist, etc. And they have a whole lot of things about this. But what we say is that if we make a distinction between the part of us which is not permanent, the part of us which is mundane, part of us which is not enlightened, which we call lokiya, of the nature of this world, and the part of us which is transcendental, which is enlightened, which is full of wisdom and knowledge, and part of which is able to enter upon nirvana, then we can see very clearly that these two parts of ourself are of a completely different nature. One is permanent, one is impermanent. One is happy, one is of a nature of suffering. So the fact that we talk about anatta is pointing to the fact that there's something better than this, which is to attain the body of enlightenment in ourselves. It's not that we're going to become attached to it, because it's not of the nature of something which you can attach to. but it's something which will lead us towards salvation.